is either you, Matthew, or John communicating with the consultant exactly what we need them to be doing, and that usually involves keeping an accurate record, i.e., logbooks. Just so everyone there who may not be proficient in English will get the information, and they're able to sign these logbooks either daily or weekly, just to make sure that they're proficient in what's going on. But all that being said, James, have you got any input here you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I believe Eric is SafeServe certified, but he may have forgotten a little bit. But he may need an updated refresher course on it. So if the board wants us to send him to be recertified, we'd be happy to do that for you.
Well, it seems like just page after page of issues on your inspection report. I'm not really sure this comes down to just one employee being a little lax.
Try to retrain.
To speed. What do you think?
I think that, they were able to correct the issues. I know from having worked with James in the past that James himself is knowledgeable and understands what's required. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression that James is not on site as often as he was in the past. And I think that Eric, who James has referred to, is kind of the manager who's there daily. While he is ServSafe certified, I don't know that or feel confident that he has the experience to train this new kitchen staff and then, monitor and reinforce what they need to do properly. they did, to be fair, they did come into compliance by the third inspection. But, despite the challenges, they need to move forward safely.
Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Arvedon, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent in training. And the more training, whether you have it by a consultant or you have it in-house training, it sounds like there's not just, we've seen this before. We've seen it's not my job kind of thing. Someone walks by and something's dirty. It's not their job. I mean, it's, they need to clean before, they need to clean after, they need to refrigerate, they need to log, it's all the stuff. It's how to run a business, how to run a food service. And it needs to be written down, and what I would say is, if you have new staff and you have old equipment, well, you have no business opening or being open until you get the staff trained, until you get the equipment fixed. I mean, I'm sorry that I have to say that, but you just can't say, well, we'll use the old equipment, limp by, even though the thermometer doesn't work, we'll figure it out somehow, or the people don't know what they're doing, we'll figure it out. You can't do that. Wait a week, wait 2 weeks, or find somebody to do the training. I mean, there's plenty of people around to do the training, or do it yourself. Write all the stuff down in whatever language they understand or need to understand, and make sure they follow it. They walk in and someone knows that they can't unlock the door until all these things are done. The trash goes out at the end of the day and everything's cleaned and sanitized, and proper ways to run a 3-bay sink, basic stuff. Whatever it takes. You have a beautiful restaurant, you have a wonderful, but it's very large and there's a lot going on there.
I'm sorry, I know that I said that the equipment was broken after 8 months, but we did fix it. We go about and fixing, make sure that everything worked properly before we could open.
Well, I'm sorry, that's an example, but if you have equipment, if you have equipment, then you didn't open the business until the equipment is fixed. Great. Same thing with the staff. You need to have all the staff trained, before you open the doors.
So James, it sounds like if you're not able to be in this facility full time, I think my recommendation, and that's just me, and of course it'll be up to Betsy and Eric as well. I really think you need to get a consultant on board, just because it sounds like there's some real gaps in your training and adult supervision over there, which seems like it may be lacking. Betsy, you haven't really weighed in. What have you got to say?
So I like the idea of a consultant coming in. They're independent and they'd be watching, kind of guiding as necessary, and taking all of the recommendations from John and his inspections. But I also think that it's probably going to be advantageous if a couple people did go to the ServSafe training themselves. And, for long-term, kind of after the consultant left, continue to do that training from within. But that's just my thought.
Matthew, what have you got? Do you agree with what we're talking about here, or do you think we should go in another direction? Thoughts?
No, I agree with Betsy wholeheartedly that I think, it's tough when one person isn't there, or you can't expect one person in charge to be there 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. I mean, they have other things to do. So I would definitely recommend that a few more people get trained in food safety. That's why we're here. We want more people trained in those sort of aspects of it. And then, I think a consultant, would be good as well. But, I would maybe limit the amount of consultant inspections to see after he meets, after he gets a few employees trained. Things might things might change rapidly after you get a few people educated in food training and safety.
Matthew, or to go along with that, I think the serve safe is very important.
Yeah.
As a basis, but the serve safe is general for all businesses. It's for hot dog stands and fine dining restaurants. The consultants that we're talking about are someone that would come in and take a look at their restaurant, or maybe James come in and take a look at their restaurant and see what are the things that need to be done on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. What are the things that people need to focus on for sanitizing, for cleaning, for even storing the trash, or storing things, temperature controls, labeling things, everything's different and for every business. So this is just to get them focused. They a lot of times these consultants write a book, they write pages of what they need to do, and people can refer to those, and that's great, because then James or somebody can refer to that booklet as part of the training, and then what do you get? What happens when you get a new person in? James, people don't work forever, right? So you get new people, and then all of a sudden one guy quits, and then you get a new guy, and he doesn't know what is expected of him, but he can review the book, or he could talk to people. Hey, I saw this in the booklet. Here's what people are doing. What do I, help me out? Or, it's a training. It's a tool. So the serve safe is very important, but it's not the end all be all. Right?
No, I agree with you. The way I think about it is, serve safe and food manager courses would be the beginning, and it's 8 hours of your own working, studying, trying to pass a test. So, and it's a little more affordable as well. So there's advantages of taking that. And then if that doesn't work, then a consultant, I mean, it's a higher price. Yes. They come in, they don't spend, a good deal of time. They do an inspection, a lot like one of a health officer or inspector, and then they write up their findings, same way that we would do, and give recommendations. I think both is needed. I think you start with one and then move to the other. But if you want to do, just the consultant or just the food manager safety classes, however you guys want to do it, I'm in agreement.
Well, so James, what would you suggest? So John, you're going to go in when? When's your next inspection? John?
So my next inspection would be in about 2 months, 2.5 months. 2 months.
Okay. So
Yeah.
James, we have 2 months now for you to get your shop in order. Okay.
Okay.
So what would you suggest? How we want you to pass. We want you to be flying colors. We want to say this is the best restaurant in Foxborough. Okay.
Of course.
What do you suggest? So how can you, we don't want to have to force you to do stuff. This is sort of preliminary, but what do you suggest? Everyone said consultant that could help you, training that could help, serve safe, you said. So can we come up with something
Yes.
that maybe?
All right. So I want to regain the confidence of the Board of Health. I am sorry that all of this has happened. So I will have more people trained initially, and then I will also talk with the owner to see if we can hire a consultant to come in to create a plan that we can follow every day as a routine to check whether things are sanitized properly, where things are kept properly, and everything is logged properly. Would that be something the board would agree on?
Yeah, I like, we talk about a consultant, but I think in the past when we referred to a consultant, and Matthew, this is kind of to your point, when we referred to getting a consultant, we're really not looking for someone to come in and just kind of double up on our inspections. When we say a consultant, I want someone that's going to be in your place and someone who's going to be able to speak the language, so to speak, and tell you what needs to be done, what's going wrong, and be more of a trainer than a consultant. We're not looking for someone to just come in and point fingers and tell you what you're doing wrong. We need someone to explain to you, to help you create some logbooks, to help you, get your employees so they're looking out for each other. Not like Eric said, not just like, that's not my job kind of thing. We've seen this so many times. We really just want you to work together. It sounds like that's not what's going on over there.
I see. There, the course it's called teamwork, and there's probably a lack of it because it's a new team that has to find a way to work with each other again. Yeah, that is something I can probably work on with Eric to see if he can work with the back of the kitchen as well as with the sushi bar people as well. It's I think it's a very big juggle because of the size of the restaurant, but I'm afraid that's what's going to have to happen. And I will try to get other people involved in the Serve Safe as well.
So are you just doing takeout right now, or are you
we're doing takeout and delivery only at the moment because basically we don't have a full staff. We only have a third of the amount of staff we normally would have in that restaurant.
And
so
have designs on opening up your dining room? We
plan to, but right now looking for people who are not intimidated by the COVID issue is very difficult right now. And it's really hard for me to tell you when we're going to open again. I'm hoping if the numbers are better and people feel a little bit more confident after getting their shots or whatever, that they will start coming back or be available again. I don't know. To tell you the truth.
I get it. You're the same boat as everybody else.
Yes.
Betsy, anything else you want to add here?
I like your plan. I think the basis of the education first with the Serve Safe and working as a team and building your team is a really good idea. And I can only hope for the best and see where that takes us in the next couple of months.
Excellent. Diane, have you got anything you want to add here? Mr. Arvedon?
I think we're good. I think we'll leave it up to James to to give John a call and say, John, here's what I'm thinking, or here's what questions I have. We always are like that. And then when John goes out in a couple months, he'll see how that goes. And then James will either come and eat at your restaurant or we'll have you back in front of the board. How's that?
Okay, I understand.
All right. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm good.
All right. So, James, we can count on you to communicate with John and Matthew, and John, I will assume the opposite of you is true. You'll communicate with James, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see John earlier than 2 months, just to be on the safe side. I don't know how that fits into your schedule, John, but I'm not really sure we want to wait 8 more weeks. Matthew, any final thoughts?
No, I think he has a good plan. He understands what needs to be done. So I think we're going to move in the right direction, or hopefully we'll move in the right direction after this.
Great. It's James, if you're all set, it's 7:24. I'm going to call the matter of my Pearl to be over and done with. And sir, I appreciate your time.
Oh,
and,
thank you, sir.
Good luck with
thank you, everyone.
what you have to do.
All right, good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. do you guys want to do minutes and bills, or do you want to have
sure.
Matt do his thing? Or
Well, so at this time, I'd like to, I'd like to pay the following bills. How's that?
I forgot you were the clerk. Go for it.
That's right. I have Fred's Auto Repair for $35. I have Granger for $34.01. I have LifeWorks, which is for the February services, $812.83. I have Communications for February for Diane and for John. I have Verizon Wireless data usage for our tablets for $79.98, and that is December. I have safety shoes for food inspections for John for $56.95. I have
like your fourth pair of shoes this year, John.
Well, he's a big dude, you know, he keeps blowing through them, you know. And then I have tuition for 2020 tuition course materials for $2,785 for John Robertson Jr. I have communications for Diane and John in the sum of $50 for January. I have LifeWorks January services for $812.83. Verizon Wireless tablet usage data, $79.98. And Taylor Technology pool inspection supplies for $26.99.
Yeah, I will second that motion.
And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any discussion, any questions, any issues?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And as a corollary, Matthew, you know about the communications deal. You're going to be on that gravy train pretty soon?
Pretty soon. I actually just got, I guess because of my position, I believe that they give me somewhat of a stipend already. The town does, but it isn't the amount that is shown here. So I don't know if I'll get more through the FEP grant or not, but yes,
okay. Okay, good. Because I think, well, I know Pauline used to get it, and I thought that's how it was set up. So, and I think the precedent has been set. So when I think you should get that as well.
Thank you.
Agreeable. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Hey, Mr. Chairman, while we're talking about minutes, I have some minutes I'd like to suggest we make a motion to approve the minutes of December 21st, 2020 as written.
That was our meeting with the landlord issue, that meeting.
On 38 Main Street, yes.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Tweak,
All
and
right.
yes.
No, I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Any concerns, any corrections, any amendments, nothing? Spell checks, nothing?
No, good. Diane, thank you.
And I'll just assume Diane's showing off again. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Diane, you got that? Beautiful.
All right.
John, have you got anything you want to tell us about?
I think you guys are pretty much in the loop.
So the things that I wanted to hear about too were 33 Commercial Street and 38 Main Street status on those. So I don't know who's either Matthew or John.
I can give you, I have an update on those. So 38 Main Street, yeah, so I have in front of me here, unfortunately, you guys don't have it in front of you yet, but I was sent an email by the owner, as well as some photos to confirm. He's done extensive work on the roof and in the ceiling of the house. He installed a whole new ridge vent, new solar exhaust fan in the roof, 25 feet of gutter, brand new bathroom exhaust vent, and repiped it, as well as other work. So he did some work in the bathroom. So he's well on his way to bringing that up to code. There's still a few things left. Just some repairs inside the house from the water damage from the previous leak. But he is letting that sit and dry before the final repairs are made, which is understandable. So that's my update for 38 Main Street. Any
I'm
questions?
glad the letting him in there. Last I had heard that they had some sort of restraining order or something going on. They weren't letting him in there. Is that, is my memory correct there? Anybody else remember that, or is that just me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that was absolutely.
All right. Well, good. Glad they're.
And it just sounds like to my fellow board members, and to John, who, John, you're the man. You went and did the inspection, and he presented this slick presentation where showing pictures and how it wasn't him, and it sounds like it was the roof, and it sounds like it was leaking, and it sounds like all the stuff that Matthew just brought up needed to be done anyhow. So it's like, not me. I guess it was him. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
And Matt, this is you don't know the board yet, but we hate to be in the middle. You get tenants on one side, you get landlord on the other side,
Yep.
and you got the board of health in the middle. We hate being in the middle. We'll be on one side or the other, but not the middle. And so we work hard at it. So, and you would know that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's crazy. Yeah.
So moving on to 33 Commercial Street. That was unfortunate. That was an inspection that was requested by the fire department. I guess the fire department responded to 33 Commercial Street. And after the response, they asked the building department, health department, and fire prevention to go out as a group, which we did. And there was some major safety concerns with the building, with water infiltrating, getting into lights, getting into building materials, structural damage. So there was definitely some concerns. One of the rooms had a bed in it, space heaters, there were kids' toys, bathroom. So I had some concerns that it could be lived in. So I wanted to let them know. So I sent out an order so no one would use that space. It's an office building anyway. It's not set up for human habitability. But, considering there was a bed and other things, I wanted to make sure they were aware. So I got them this order. As well as there was propane inside the building. It looked like they had set up burners for like exterior sort of pot, what you'd see in like Thanksgiving, where you'd fry your turkey on, inside the building, which again, you can't bring propane tanks inside of a building. That's why we have plumbing. And they had bulk food. So according to them, they weren't using it, but they had everything there. So they, it looked to be a commercial kitchen. And why else would you have propane inside and, pots for cooking? So I sent this out just to make sure they were aware. The building department is following up with the overall use of the building. It was the electrical inspector's recommendation that the building actually be shut off from electricity and only for essential services. I'm not sure what they've done to date, but this was on Friday, the original inspection. So, after I wanted to make sure you guys were aware, considering I was telling them to, vacate the building for living there and for food. It's right now they don't have a food permit with the town. I think John is aware that they've had one in the past.
No, I don't believe so.
No, I remember when they first opened up, I think we gave them a food permit because they had planned on serving meals there, like maybe once a week. I think.
Yeah, but I think the answer is no. I don't think we gave them a food permit because they said it's for their parishioners and people bring it from home and it's not for the general public. So they're not selling it. So I thought we, I could be wrong, but I thought we said, okay, you don't need a permit because people are bringing it and they're only going to be serving small amounts of things, and it's going to be cooked and brought in for their parishioners or for their family, they called it, whatever. But it's not for the general public, and so they weren't going to cook it and prepare anything there at all, ever. I'm almost positive that was my recollection.
I can provide some clarity if you want.
Yeah.
So they did have a permit with us, and they were doing large events. They were preparing food for the public. It was not a potluck. It was not just for the parishioners. And they were a level 3 establishment. So we were inspecting them. But during COVID, they weren't really operating. And then when I tried to follow up, they're working on a plan for renovations, apparently a little overdue. And so they did not reapply for the permit at this time, at this point in the year.
Okay.
All righty then. So they're just, for the time being, they're just out of business. Is that where you kind of left it off, Matthew?
Yeah. So right now they have plans to rebuild the whole entire place and structure. So they, they're wondering if they're going to fix it and try to do what they were doing, or just tear the whole entire building down and start anew. So right now it's closed for business, and they're going to figure out what they need to do on their end and either repair it so they can get back in business or go for a new building. So we'll find out.
Great. So before I forget, just for Eric and Betsy, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, Matthew and I talked, and I told them how I really appreciate and I really like getting those updates from Chief Kenvin about the COVID stuff. And I asked Matthew if there's any way that every once in a while he could send us as board members updates on what's going in the office. Because every once in a while, I was talking to Matthew about it. Every once in a while, someone will say to me, "Hey, what's going on with ABC or XYZ?" And I'm like, I don't know. It's the first I've heard of it. And I don't like being in that position. So Matthew has agreed to, like, if something pops up, kind of like what you did with the commercial street thing, just send us a quick email and kind of keep us in the loop. So none of us have to look surprised when someone approaches us and asks us what's going on.
It doesn't have to be, I agree with that. That'd be perfect. And it doesn't have to be elaborate.
No, I'm not.
No. And then, a couple words. And then if someone has a question, we can always just go give a call and say, hey, what 33 right. Main Street, what was that about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
perfect.
I like the last email.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our first meeting, I think, with, yeah.
Thanks for having me. On that note too, I do have a COVID update if you would like it.
Of course.
Okay. And I'll just read this quickly. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health reports as of February 18th, 2021, a total of 1.2 million vaccinations have been administered within the state, and that 225,000 vaccinations have been administered within the last 7 days. As of February 18th, all groups in phase 1, as well as groups 1 and 2 in phase 2, are eligible to receive a vaccine. The next order of priority in phase 2 of the state's vaccination plan is early education and K through 12 workers, transit, utility, food and agriculture, sanitation, public works, and public health workers. Information on the vaccinations for these workers is forthcoming for a date. The state continues to focus on adding appointments at mass vaccination clinics statewide. You can make appointments in various ways, including mass.gov /COVID vaccine or www.maimmunizations.org, or through your local participating retail pharmacy or mass vaccination clinic, such as Gillette Stadium, or you can call the state by dialing 211 on your telephone. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health continues to track cases of the B.1.17 COVID-19 variant, which is known to spread more easily. The best defense against this community spread COVID-19 variant is to prevent the spread of the virus altogether. New information from CDC shows that improving the fit and filtration of masks help reduce the spread of the virus. Other critical public health measures help prevent the spread include staying 6 feet away from others, avoiding groups, staying home when you're sick, getting tested if you have symptoms, or if you are identified as a close contact, and by getting vaccinated when it's your turn. Currently, the town of Foxborough is now in the yellow category. The town's daily average incident rate is 28.2 cases per 100,000, or for Foxborough, 72 cases in the last 14 days, which is much lower than the last few weeks. In addition, the percent positivity rate is moderate, 4%, which is lower than last week too. So that is my update on COVID for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
And then Diane, actually, she had a couple things for you guys too. We wanted to talk about the Rabies Clinic. I guess it was something that you guys normally do this time of year.
Well, May or April and May.
So we were talking, and it's something we definitely would like to do. I know because of COVID, it might not be a good time now. Maybe we can see if you guys don't mind holding off a little bit, maybe we can see if with COVID things improve to have it this summer, maybe, if that's all right.
Yeah, I say I don't think we had one last April, right, Diane? Yeah, it doesn't honestly feel any better now than it did last April. So I'm comfortable waiting until I think we're in better shape.
Right.
Betsy?
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to work it, but not like this. Right. Perfect.
I agree.
The question is working it, not whether we're going to have it all together.
Well, no, whether we're going to have it. No, whether we're going to have it. We don't want people showing up, and I mean, it's, until the world is in a better place, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Now's not the right time, but hopefully later.
Right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right.
And you have something else too, or was that it?
Yeah. She wanted some information on the permits. If what name you'd like on the permits moving forward.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think? I mean, they asked if they wanted our names on there, and I said that was okay, or Matthew's name on there. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Does it make sense? I mean, does it make sense to put Matthew and us on there, or one or the other? Who's been on it in the past?
Pauline, the director.
Okay.
I'm okay with the director.
Yeah. Matt, is that okay with you?
No, that's, and this is something else I wanted to talk about, but I mean, if we're issuing permits, yeah, I think it makes sense. And we have a few people coming in, maybe for new food service applications, one at the Normandy Farms. So someone's going to be in the kitchen there. So actually, and as well, we have maybe an applicant for microblading, which would be it was a tattoo, be body art. So for things like that, in Weymouth, we would give the okay, and then we brought people to the board if, things were going south. So I didn't know if that was something, these initial okays do you want to go through me and just, I'll sign off on the permit, and when things go south, I'll refer to you guys? Or
I like to see, I think we have always liked to see the new businesses.
Yeah.
We like to talk to them. No, and I would vote for that we would, but I'm saying the actual name, I'm sorry, I thought it was the name on the permit.
Yeah, no, the name on the permit, that's correct. I mean,
so I would like to see the new applicants, quiz them. I think the board, I'm almost positive the board would like to do that as well.
Yeah,
But then when it comes down to the actual piece of paper.
Something we've always done. It gives me it gives me a much better comfort level being able to put eyes on these people and hear what they have to say and have them explain to us exactly what they're doing.
Right.
Because honestly, the buck is going to stop here. So it's nice if we can put eyes on them and converse with them. Betsy, do you have any thoughts?
I like meeting them, especially at the beginning. It's only been a few for me, but I like meeting them at the beginning.
Yeah, so I mean, and my point asking for that was, so then, it may make sense for the food establishments to leave your name on them, because if you're gonna, be the approving authority, if I have to bring them to you, then you could keep your names on them, I would assume.
Our names aren't on them now, though.
They're not?
No.
I thought they were.
No, they are.
Diane?
So Pauline left right in the middle of permit season. So we needed the permits to be signed and approved by someone. So that's why your names were on it, because it was permit season.
Okay.
And we couldn't issue a permit without some sort of signature.
Okay. Well,
before
it doesn't
that,
matter.
it was
Up to Matt. I'll leave it to Matt.
But to that note, what Matt was saying though, not every business goes in front of the board for their approval. And it's not really their approval. I think it's just for them to meet them.
Right.
That was my understanding.
Right. And that's right. And it's not really our approval. It's just to meet them.
Okay.
So,
I mean, going back to the teamwork thing, I think it's going to be important. I mean, I'm all for you, approving it, having your name on the permit, all that, but it still means that as a board, we want to put eyes on them and meet with them, hear what they have to say.
So is this so it's mandatory? Are we making this mandatory that they come before the board?
It always has been, hasn't it, Eric?
Yep.
Everyone who's as long as I've been on the board.
Yeah. Always the new people, they just, the application, gets inspected and they're ready to open. We met, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago with Acholitos.
Yep.
And, I mean, just they come in, it's not a big thing. We ask them who they are, what their plan is, what the menu, they usually bring the menu. I've always asked them to bring like all the food and all their products, but they never do. I'm just kidding. So, and then, Paul is usually the one that says, look, we're nice people now, but we don't want to ever see you again, in front of the board. And they always nod and they appreciate that, and we always tell them, give John a call or give the office a call if you have any questions. It's just like, we're the approving authority. I mean, we are, but, so, okay. So, but I would like to, and if you want to keep our name on there, that's okay too. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, whose name is on the thing doesn't matter. It's all, that's semantics. But as a board, I think we still want to meet everyone doing something.
I mean, kind of like we do the approving. I mean, so
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. Can you just take a minute, Matthew, and explain to us about this blading thing? What is that?
So microblading, it's a semi-permanent tattoo, really. So what they do is they take a scalpel and kind of make small incisions of just ink into the eyebrow area. It fades over time, but there is a potential of bloodborne pathogens. So it is something that needs to be regulated as body art.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the state dealt with would this be considered different than a tattoo place? Because I thought the state dealt with tattoo
No, we,
places.
No, we do.
we do, and we don't have any. In fact, I know we permitted them to be up on Route 1 in some certain small area. You couldn't ban them, but so we have a small area that they can be in somewhere on Route 1.
And there is a Board of Health regulation regarding body art, which
Yeah,
they fall
you know
under.
what, Paul? It used to be the tanning.
Oh, maybe
something-
that's what I'm thinking. The
Yeah,
tanning.
something happened with the tanning, and all of a sudden we didn't inspect them, but it was
Oh, massage. It's massage.
massage. Right,
Yeah.
that's right, massage.
DPL, yeah, Department of Professional Licensure took them, yep.
Yeah, and if you ask anybody in Foxborough, the state has never come out to anybody in Foxborough. So,
Yeah, they have 2 inspectors for the whole state, so.
Right. there. So,
All righty then.
nice.
Um,
And I just want to say one more thing. I think it was 2 Wednesdays ago. We were in front of the advisory committee, and our new director did a fabulous job, a great job. Answering questions, presenting, our budget, and Betsy, I think Betsy was there too, right?
Yep.
And of course, me, the big mouth, I opened my mouth. I really didn't need to come to Matt's defense.
You just
But-
can't help yourself, can you, Eric?
No, I cannot. And Jack Martin, he was like asking these questions. Oh, so you're new guy. So what have you seen here? What needs to be changed? What needs to be? And Matt, he says, I've only been here 3 weeks and we're in a pandemic. Nothing. I can't, I'll let you know. And then he asked him a second time. So, but what have you seen? What? And then he asked him a third time. And that's when I opened my mouth. I mean, I'm like, really? I just said, Jack, come on, cut the crap, so any event. But he didn't need, I just know Jack. Matt is trying to be the new guy and just, I don't know. If you see something, Matt, let us know. But that was inappropriate, honestly. So, but I came to his defense, but he didn't really need my defense. So great job, Matt.
One in every crowd.
I know, right? So.
It was a good presentation. I liked it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good job, Matt. Nice work.
Yeah.
According to these two.
Yeah. All right.
And I think that's all I have for you, so.
All right.
John, anything else? Any surprises? Anything interesting?
No surprises. I try to keep the surprises to a minimum.
Excellent. Diane,
Right.
nothing? You've been very quiet.
What I got one more thing I can report. I got
What you got?
my second COVID shot vaccine injection on Saturday at Gillette Stadium. And I got to tell you, a friend of mine, I said, I'm going up to Gillette. And they said, oh, I was there from 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock. And it was just a fiasco. We were waiting outside, blah, blah, blah.
Jeez, I've heard nothing but good things.
And I went up there and it was like a well-oiled machine. I'm proud to be there. I mean, it was just, you walked in, they just shuffled you over to here, and it was very organized, very professional, in and out, and it was no BS, and it was no waiting, and it was wonderful. So kudos to the people that are putting it on. And they really, they're doing 3,000 a day. They're going to be doing 5,000 a day soon. And I could just see, all I need is people. I didn't wait, but if there was a line, you would have got more people. I mean, the nurses were, the vaccinators were over there, nurses. They were waiting.
That's great to hear.
Yeah. So I'm just spreading the word. I think it was great operation. All right. And that's all
Excellent.
I got.
Anybody, anything else?
Nope.
Anybody care to make any sort of motion?
I'd be okay to make a motion to adjourn.
All right,
I'll second that.
7:54. Anybody going to second that? You, Eric? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy
you.
the rest of your night.
Nice to meet you, Matthew.
All right, nice to
John,
meet you.
thanks.
Thanks
Diane,
so much,
thank you.
Matt.
Everyone.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.